My name is Michelle McGowan. I learned about these children on Facebook from the United States 3 weeks ago. And I'm here today in Kunchene, a village in the upper western region in Ghana.
But have they ever seen a dermatologist in Ghana?
Okay, that's the mother going, and that's Amosa sitting there. And that's Kweku sitting behind you.
I didn't expect for the disease to be as advanced as it is. I didn't expect, like, the pictures didn't really do it justice, you know, and didn't show the severity of the disease. I was heartbroken, totally heartbroken that these kids have never received any treatment.
I'm here today in Kunchene, a village in the upper western region in Ghana. They are afflicted with a skin disorder. It's very treatable. These children do not have to look like this. It's not contagious. You can't catch it by touching them and loving them. And we need help to get them some treatment that they deserve. Their suffering is very long. We need help from Ghana. We need help from the United States. We need help from the entire world. Money, clothing, supplies, medical care, doctors, nurses that are willing to help, that have knowledge and expertise. We need it all. And we need it quickly. These children have suffered long enough. Thank you.
You're still on SaharaTV, Everything Africa. Coming up next is the sad story of some siblings in northern Ghana suffering from dermatitis, a rare skin disease, of a woman who dared to help them, and of the misadventures that followed. In October 2013, Michelle McGowan, a US citizen and a retired nurse, saw the pictures of 3 children on her friend's Facebook page. She said she was touched to help them and made a trip to Ghana to do so. Michelle says she was able to start a campaign to collect donations to help these poor kids who had been ostracized from their communities. Along the line, however, Ghana woke up to screaming headlines of an American lady posing as a philanthropist to siphon monies from unsuspecting donors into several offshore accounts. Ms. McGowan alleges, though, that she was arrested on the orders of the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, and describes how she had a hard time at the hands of some government appointees. This issue has actually generated a fair bit of debate on social media. Was the minister right in stopping Ms. McGowan? Is she truly an opportunist? Or is there perhaps a more sinister motive by these government functionaries to barge into the influx of donations that are coming in? Let's speak with Ms. Michelle McGowan on the line right now here in the United States after she came back from Ghana. Welcome to Sahara TV, Michelle.
Thank you.
Okay, I must also put on record that I've been trying hard to get the other side of the story from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, and also from the Ministry of Information in Ghana. The Ministry of Information promised to return my call, but that promise has not materialized at this point. So I'm just going to take the story as we hear it from Michelle McGowan. Can you please quickly walk us through what really happened, Michelle, briefly?
Can I start from the very beginning?
Please, briefly though.
Okay. I saw these pictures of these 3 children on a friend's Facebook page in October, and I had to call him to make sure that the children were real. You know, the pictures that I saw were very disturbing, And so I called him to make sure that he had actually seen these children himself. I've been to Ghana 6 times. Um, Ghana is one of my very favorite countries to travel to. I've been all over the world doing humanitarian work. So I was really sad that these children were in my favorite African country. And I was compelled to help them in any way that I could. I'm a Christian, and I act in Holy Spirit. Anytime I'm called to do something, I'm led by God. So this was, to me, it was a God was the one that convicted my heart to do whatever I could do. I have a medical background, so I knew that it was a skin disease. I was told that the village had outcast this family. There were 6 children born to this family total. The first child had the disease and died, and the second child that was born to the disease was normal. The third, fourth, and fifth children were affected with the disease, and then the last born, the youngest, was normal. The disease is genetic, and it's not contagious, but the local mentality was that these children were cursed, and they nobody wanted to touch them or help them in any way. So I wanted to do whatever I could do, you know. And at this point in time, I didn't know that there was anything that I could do. I just wanted to see them. So 3 days later, I flew to Ghana, and I went to visit this family in the village, and I was deeply disturbed by what I saw. The children were very, very, very sick, and I get really emotional when I'm talking about them because I felt God sent them to me. So when I found them, they were living under a tree, and they had no clothes. I mean, the clothes that they were wearing, they had literally been wearing for months. They were tattered and torn and dirty. They were filthy. They were covered with flies. The children were pouring water over themselves to stay cool. And it was just a very, very disheartening sight that I came to see. And it devastated me. I took a friend of mine with me as a photographer because I wanted to film these children so that I could get their plight out to the world, you know, so that we could get some world-class treatment for them. And so.
Yep, Michelle. Hello, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm emotional.
Yeah, that's understandable. Do you want a minute to put yourself together?
No, it's okay. I'm grateful for this platform to be able to tell this story because there's been a lot of convoluted lies and propaganda and allegations against me.
We'll get to those in a minute, but
I know that because I'm acting by the will of God, that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. But I haven't, to this day, I haven't even seen these children. So
okay, Michelle, let's take it a step at a time. Let me ask you, in the course of doing your work, you were arrested. What were you arrested for?
You know, they never really told me in the beginning. I was told that Nana Oyelitha was very happy with my work.
Nana Oyelitha is the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection.
A social worker by the name of Marianne Mensah. She called me and she said that the minister was very happy with my work and she wanted to meet with me. So I was scheduled to meet with her on a Friday morning at 10 o'clock, and I showed up at her office. And instead of getting to meet with her, she walked in and she said, "Come with me." And she took me downstairs to a police vehicle and straight to the police station where I was arrested, handcuffed, fingerprinted. I never even got to talk to her.
What was the charge? What did the police say they were arresting you for?
The original charge was fraud. And then it eventually, I think it came down to child publication.
Child publication?
Yeah.
What in the name of all that's good is that? Child publication. What's that? I don't understand what that is. Do you?
You know, the charges never, the case never went to court. Now the docket has disappeared. The police said that it had been referred to the Attorney General.
Okay,
No one can find the docket.
let me ask you though, what rules were you breaking? I mean, every country has its own lay down protocol for doing several things in the country. If you went there to do humanitarian work, was there a protocol that was supposed to be followed that you breached?
If there was, I was never informed of it. No, I just when, I'm not, because I'm not a big NGO. I'm not UNICEF. I'm not, We Are the World. I'm not. I just went by myself because it was a God-given mission. It was just something that I was compelled to do. And I was never, if I had broken rules or broken protocol or something, I would imagine someone should inform me or at least advise me of that instead of just having me arrested and never even talking to me.
So you got no warning or anything at all like that? You were just arrested without any
No, and every attempt
whatsoever.
that I've made to contact Nana Oyelither, I've called her twice personally. She hung up on me both times. Attempts made by my lawyers, by her priest, Father Campbell at Christ the King Church, just open the communication and find out what I did wrong. She's thwarted every single effort that I've made.
Let's try to fathom something here. What do you think would be a motive for anybody to stop you from doing such a noble, work? Why would anybody want to stop you? Can you guess of anything at all?
I don't know. I don't know. And my heart has been broken because I don't even know where the children are. The government says they're taking care of them and they're responding to treatment and they're going to start school, but no one has seen the kids. No one has, for all I know, they could be dead somewhere. And I've never been able to even the money that we raised is still just sitting in the account for them,
Okay, so at this point, let's this is why I would have loved to have the other side of the story. And but reading from the Ghanaian press, though, you were accused of fraud, as you've already mentioned, and then also for the details of that being that you had set up several offshore accounts into which you were siphoning these funds. Can you speak to this?
I submitted everything. The police investigation went on for a month. I was actually in custody for a month, and I was told to report to the police station every day. When I reported to the police station, I was subjected to sexual harassment, a lot of really terrible things. But I took all the evidence to the police. I took the everything, the bank account statements. I've been totally transparent from the very beginning. So all of the evidence is in the report. It's all in the docket.
Let me probe this a bit further, though. It was also alleged that you were actually soliciting funds through your PayPal account. Can you explain to us how this whole thing is set up? Is it how transparent is it? Are people actually free to check how much comes in, how much goes out, that kind of thing?
Yes, every donation that I've received, I posted it publicly on my Facebook page. I honored every donor. We also have a website that has every donor listed and the amount that they pledged. The donors have not been to this day. They're still supporting me because they know that we haven't spent any of the money. The only money we spent was to rent an apartment for the children when we moved them from the northern region to Accra for treatment. There was a footballer by the name of Emmanuel Adebayo who had pledged money to have the children medically evacuated to the UK or the United States for medical treatment. Everyone seems to think that we got his money, but because he didn't want the children to be treated in Ghana, he wanted them to be treated outside. That money never came. So we're even talking about like 10 to 12,000 Ghana cedis, which is nothing. So I don't know.
Okay.
Even the donors are they're all my friends. They're colleagues. They're doctors, nurses. They're diaspora. They sent me clothes and shoes and And, you know, I had people even handing me cash on the streets of Accra. They were calling me, you know, the mother of children, and they were handing me cash. Every peswa that we collected went into that account. And we even a foundation for them with the Register General.
Okay, so
You know,
now
we did everything that we were supposed to do.
okay, now you've sued the government, or the government has sued you. I'm not too sure which is what. What's the update on that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
You have sued the government of Ghana, or the government of Ghana has sued you. Either of these scenarios is true, is it?
Sued me?
Has the government sued you, or have you sued the government over the matter?
No. No.
Okay, so what's the story about the missing docket and all of that?
You know, what my lawyers want to do at this point is to have the case withdrawn. You know, if there's no proof, if there's no evidence, then the case needs to be withdrawn. But as long as it's lingering out there, I can't ever come back to Ghana without being harassed, you know, and I need to be able to continue God's work, whether it's with these children or with other, you know, other children in Ghana, or, you know, I love the country. I love Ghana. I've been in love with Ghana for many, many years. And, but as long as there's not, you know, the docket is just, you know, it's dead. The whole case is dead. The evidence has been refuted, and it hasn't even, you know, the police said that it was at the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office doesn't even have it. Nobody even knows where the docket is now. So until I receive something from the Ghana government saying that, you know, that either they were wrong, or I was, you know, I wasn't advised, or it's still just kind of lingering in the background. And
You have also received death threats, I hear?
Yes.
Can you tell us about this?
I received a very publicized audio threat from Anita Dusoso. Don't even know how she got involved in this case. But when I returned home from the United States, I had 5 messages in my voicemail box from her saying that she would find me wherever I am. And there's been other rumors that are unconfirmed, but I received an email. You know, I was very public about the broadcast today, because there's a lot of supporters here in the United States, and there's a lot of supporters of these children in Ghana. And in all that publicity, I received an email death threat this morning saying that if I ever come back to Ghana, I'll be handled, be taken care of.
Wow. What are you doing about these threats, though? Have you reported to any relevant agencies?
Well, I reported the entire case to the U.S. Embassy when I was still in Ghana. And then when I returned home, I reported it to the Department of State and Diplomatic Security. And they're looking into everything, the investigation. They can't tell me where the investigation is, but there is definitely some darkness.
What does this all mean for you? Does it take away that spirit to help other people? And I heard you say that you don't even know what's happening to the kids at this moment.
I've believed that from the beginning, these children were chosen by God to be exalted out to the world. You know, they're blessed, and I was blessed to be able to you know, bring their plight to the public. So I know that whether or not my part in this story is over, that God will not forget about these children. But I do fear that even with the government handling them now, that they won't do it forever. You know?
Okay.
And
Finally.
this is a disease that's very serious. All 3 children have secondary infections, malnutrition. They have scurvy. They have blindness. You can see in the video that they're going blind because their eyes are sealed open.
Okay. So finally, would you also consider taking a few further steps to clear your name concerning the alleged fraud and stuff like that are labeled against you? Because I was researching the issue a bit, and I was told that there's actually a certain procedure which is required of anybody who's coming into the country to do the kind of work that you went to do.
Yeah.
Have you considered taking those steps for closure? And then can you also throw into that what would constitute a final closure on the matter for you?
You know, there's been some very unfortunate things that have happened to the people who believed in me, who believed in the work that I was doing. They told the truth, and they've been crucified for telling the truth. You know, there was a social worker who actually even offered a place for me to stay after I was arrested because she said she understood that the work that I was doing was from God, and she was on my side. She's been removed from the case, and threatened. There's two of the journalists in Ghana who were carrying my story have been fired. I would like for the people who I felt set out to destroy this mission and destroy this work for the betterment of these children, I would like for them to be brought to justice, and I would like for the ones who have fought the fight for these children to be reinstated and honored, because this is all, it's a global effort. You know, these kids deserve the best in life. They deserve education. They deserve to grow up and have husbands and wives of their own and children of their own. And I don't believe that the Ghana government is willing to do that, but I am. So my work has to continue. Whatever advice I have to take, whatever protocol I have to follow, I would absolutely do it, because to me, the children are worth it.
Thank you very much.
I'm never going to give up on them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michelle McGowan. Thank you for sharing this moving story with us.
Thank you.
That was Michelle McGowan, a retired American nurse who went to Ghana to help the unfortunate kids with dermatitis. Stay put, there's more coming on this platform.